So friends, today I am going to tell you a rule which is known as 100 minus your age rule. This is definitely a fit case of portfolio management where you can use this rule for making your portfolio. So, your risk taking ability decreases with time or increases with time. As you become old, your risk taking ability becomes less. You want to take less risk. At young age, you were very excited to take risk. You wanted to take risk. You challenge risk. So this rule is based on the assumption that you will live 100 years of age. You will live for 100 years. And there are two options, equity and bonds, debentures. So you always know that equity shares are more risky than bond market. I will definitely want to show some more fluctuations in equity market, 10% up, 10% down, 15% up, 2% down, 20% up to 100% up, 150% up. Yes friend, 150% up in one day equity market in many successful IPOs. Definitely you have seen also in so many of my practical segment. So if you will become old, you will have some heart problem and the share price will fluctuate in such a manner, 10% up, 20% down, 50% up, 100% down. You will up down and you will be up. Fail, heart fail. Yes friend, it is true. So you will want to take less risk. Equity market is highly risky market. So what this rule is saying, this rule is saying that 100 minus your age rule is one of the asset allocation strategies. According to this rule, the percentage of the investment in equities and debt is decided by the age, by your age while investing. What is your age? Let's say your age is 25 years. If your current age is 25 years, so this rule says according to this method, the investment you should be putting is 75% of your money in equity and rest into bonds and debenture. You should put 75% of your money in equity and rest in bond and debenture. So as you will progress, you will follow this rule. If your age is 50 years, so 50% equity, 50% debenture. If your age is 80 years, so you should invest 80% in bond and 20% in equity. So this is rule of 100 minus your age rule. As the age increases, your allocation to stocks decreases, stocks mean equity, and allocation to debt, that means bond, increases. This rule is based on certain assumptions like a person will have a lifespan of 100 years. So friends, a disclaimer from my side, this is not a rule which you can follow blindly. Every rule needs to be seen in a situation, in a circumstances, economy as a whole, and you definitely should consult, you should definitely research before investing. These rules should not be followed blindly. However, this is a rule which I need to say you as a practical coverage. I will definitely want to show you in a video about equity market, equity shares fluctuation, so that you will realize that equity market is highly risky market. There is no guarantee of return in equity market, but bond market will slightly variate from their average. They will not variate in such a manner that you will have a heart fail. You will be able to control risk in bond market, but you will not be able to control risk in equity market. I am not saying that you should not invest in equity market, or I am not saying that you should invest in bond market. I am no one to say that. I am just saying you should know your risk appetite and invest accordingly. I hope you like this presentation. 100 minus your age rule, you will definitely remember this. This query, this question was asked in your interview, and many of my students got selected in best companies of the world by answering the 100 minus age rule funda. So this will definitely help you in cracking your interview part. Hope you like the practical session, and I will play a video now which will again help you to know that equity market is risky, bond market is not that much risky. Fine, sir. So there is a very important saying of Mr. Warren Buffett. I made my first investment at the age of 11. I was wasting my life up until then. So the moral of this quotation is that you should start early, you should start young, you should start investing in this age only. Whatever amount you have, even if you have 100 rupees, you should start investing. Every month you should invest rupees 100. Fine. Hope you will remember all these concepts, all this extra practical knowledge, and these knowledge will definitely help you in your career, in your exam, in your life. Fine, sir.
I mean, so volatile. So there you are, it's a 9% downtick first, 789, 792 down. It is not 874 down. It's only when it's 874 down that you have to worry. We are just short of that. So at the moment, still trading. Let's keep our fingers crossed. There are suggestions that maybe the circuit filter should itself be moved lower, but that discussion a little later. For the moment, I don't know if I should even read all the stocks. I'll just read all that is above, worse than the Nifty. ONGC 14, BPCL 12, Axis Bank, Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, HDFC, Kotak Mahindra. I mean, look at the top 7 names. They're all absolutely marquee names who will not have a cash problem. So I think people are selling because you are finding a buyer there. All these stocks would have treasuries that will work very well. So up to Maruti, UPL, ICICI Bank, IndusInd, the top 10 stocks that are down 10% are normally names which will never have a repayment problem. Stocks that have fallen the least are the pharma stocks. So Cipla, DRL, and then the FMCG, HUL, Bharti, and then the ITs, Wipro, Infosys. These are the top 6 stocks that have fallen the least. Now I don't know if I should include L&T, okay, HCL, TCS, all of them have fallen less than the market, if you please. They've fallen less than 8%, but it's moving very, very wildly. Sonia, you want to take us through what are the mid-cap losers, and there are plenty of them.
Oh, there are several mid-cap losers at this point, but I just want to mention that, some of these pharma stocks, Lata, continue to move on the upside or relatively are holding up. So the likes of Cadila, etc. continue to hold up. But apart from that, there's massive damage that you're seeing across the board. Adani Group stocks, Adani Transmission down about 5%. A lot of these stocks in the broader markets like D-Mart, Page Industries, I'm looking at the volume losers right now, all down about 3 to 4% at the moment. Indiabulls Housing Finance down about 6%, Hindalco down 6%. Anuj, but given the start of the market, how do you see things shape up now? Because it is getting very, very volatile as we speak.
Yeah, I tell you what, the market has not hit a circuit, and there could be some short covering now because almost everyone's got on the one side of the trade, which is
just extraordinary. Nifty Bank will end down about 16.5%. I think we got the mid-cap index, which will end down about 13%, 13.5%. So across the board, steep cuts is what we are seeing. Let me just quickly run through the top sectoral losers, and then we can wrap this up with stocks today. So the private bank index will be down about 17.5%. The bank nifty itself will be down only a little less, 16.5%. Auto index will be down about 14.5%. The small cap index down 13%. We'll have the PSU bank index, which will be down about 12%. And commodity, consumer, media, metal, these are indices I'm talking about, all down over 10% in trade today. The only one which is the only rate which is higher is the India Wix, which is up about 6.5%. That's up to about 71.5 or so. Other than that, pretty much everything down and out. Let me just quickly run through the large cap stocks as well, and then I'll toss it over to you for the broader market, the mid cap action. The top cuts, Axis Bank 27%. I mean, a third of value knocked off after a 40% fall before this, coming into this Monday. Bajaj Finserv down 28%. IndusInd Bank down 24%. Bajaj Finance down 23%. Z down 20%. ICICI Bank down 18%. Maruti down 18%. Grasim down 17.5%. JSW Steel down 17%. L&T down about 16.5%. Vedanta is down 16.5%. Adani Port 16%. ONGC 15%. UPL 15%. And so we go. I mean, so this is, just complete collapses we've seen. Not a single Nifty 50 stock in the green. I mean, the outperformers are names like Power Grid, GAIL, Cipla, Coal India, Bharti Infratel, all down, but down less than 5%. So that's the extent of the fall that we've seen. Just a complete collapse coming into this Monday. By the way, Surabhi, last week, Friday to Friday, the Nifty was down 12%. This Monday we are down another 12%. I mean, the rate of fall, if anything, has picked up exponentially. So this is something that I guess would worry people quite a bit, especially those who are still hanging around waiting for that turn to happen and wondering where that is. But broader markets, Surabhi, mid caps, what did we see?
Well, Prashant, I guess, as I look at it, it's maybe a lesson for even you and me. I mean, we've been seeing markets for 15 years, perhaps you even longer. And it just tells you what happens to a market when it gets into the unknown, the fear of the unknown. Once it's known, you can start wrapping your head around it, do the numbers, do the math. Right now, you're staring at the end of an abyss, having no idea where the end is. Anyway, since you mentioned mid-caps, let me quickly come here. It's a sea of red, no surprises. Dalmia Bharat down 20%, Godrej Properties down 20%, L&T Tech, look at HEG, SRF. These are all cuts between 15, 16% that I'm reading out. Other names as well. Bata, for instance, we're talking about consumer stocks being relatively better off, but even names like Bata haven't been spared today. Look at Jubilant FoodWorks, it's down about 13 to 14%. Voltas is down. The lockdowns are real. The business disruption is real. And the market is pricing in maybe not just 2 weeks, perhaps longer periods being written off. And that's written all across the screen today. Whirlpool, V-Guard, Imami, Mindtree. It really doesn't matter which mid-cap stock you're looking at. This is a market that is pricing in perhaps several long, tough days and nights ahead. Prashant?
Well, absolutely, Surabhi. So, we're going to wrap up our conversations here. Hemang, Jani, thank you very much for being with us.